There's this terrible thing that has happened to many great players that has either forced them to completely quit or just slow down a lot, one way or another, holding them back from playing Fortnite competitive at a high level. And I myself have also had a few scares with this back in the day when I used to play Fortnite competitive. It's called carpal tunnel syndrome. This is a literal medical condition. It happens over a long period of time of repetitive use of your fingers until the point where the contents inside your carpal tunnel in your wrist, which is a bunch of nerves etc. that control your fingers, start to swell up, pushing against each other in this tunnel. And because there's not enough room in the carpal tunnel for that, the nerves push against each other, causing a numbness and a tingling sensation in your fingers and hand, and also some pain too sometimes. But only in this area you're being showed right now, because not all your nerves that control your fingers and hand go through that carpal tunnel, therefore aren't all affected by the swelling. And if you were to not pay attention to this issue, keep doing what you're doing, letting the swelling get worse, not better, you can end up permanently damaging your wrist, losing a lot of strength in it, loss of coordination and so on as these nerves crush against each other, making you eventually need surgery, which obviously forces you to quit and could make your whole life a lot harder. Before I tell you how to prevent this, you might be wondering if you have it or not. Well, there's a few quick tests you can do. First, face your palm up and tap down on the area on your wrist where the carpal tunnel actually is. If you do that and you feel the symptoms that I explained before, then that's a positive test, as in you probably have carpal tunnel syndrome. If you're still not sure, there's a next test you can do, which is the reverse prayer sign. Hold this for 2 minutes, and if you can't do this without feeling the symptoms I explained before, then that's another positive test. And I recommend to rest your wrists, or at least go less hard on them for a couple weeks, and go see an actual osteopath or physiotherapist before it gets too serious. But what you can start doing right now to fix it, and most importantly just prevent yourself from ever getting it in the first place, is to do these stretches that I personally started to use when I started getting carpal tunnel syndrome back in the day too, which eventually got rid of the symptoms and have prevented it from ever coming back, because I still do them regularly to this day. The first stretch is a full stretch where you extend one arm with the palm facing up, and with the other hand you pull back a bit on the extended arm / hand. The second stretch is the same thing but with your palm facing down, again using your other arm to pull back to give it that nice stretch. The third stretch is the prayer pose, where you put your hands together and push your elbows out and up as far as you need to get that good stretch. In all these stretches you're aiming to feel a nice stretch in your forearm and wrist. Now just do these stretches every single day whenever you think of it. Another great way to prevent this is actually to get into weightlifting, because it strengthens your forearms and your wrist. But please be careful with getting into weightlifting for the first time if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, because you could make it worse. You've just made it through the entire video, so you clearly want to go pro in Fortnite, meaning you might be interested in an hour-long one-on-one private coaching session with me, where we go over exactly how you can go pro from where you're currently at in your Fortnite career. Just click the link in the description for more info.